So if you have any question, kindly write it down so that we can. So it's a civic duty that all citizens. Yeah, there's road maintenance. Yeah, there's road maintenance fee, which is to me from our tax fee, which is to me from our taxes. So in order to achieve that, wait until you are caught by the law and the law will catch up with you. And because they to inform you and educate you on voluntary compliance. Okay. Voluntary compliance. Okay. Try to eat. Try to eat. It is your duty to register. To keep accurate. Your duty to register is to keep accurate information or records. So that it occurs when any of these obligations are not met for whatever reason. So the KRA pin. So once you have a pin has various obligations. And as much as that is true, people and then we have income tax. Now installment taxes for a year. For a year of income, and then you'll be left with a very little liability. To pay, instead of withholding tax is basically.
Has been simplified, enhanced in such a way that wakienda pale to approve, to prompt them, wakijasa kutua, to prompt them first to do PIN registration, then proceed to approve. So we have some eatings enhancements. One of them, the registration of eatings has been simplified. Before, we would go to taxpayer portal, we attach the ID of the director, we fill a commitment form, we attach that document, and then an officer approves. But the system has been enhanced in such a way that all that, whenever you log into it, you go to eaching's taxpayer portal, you just need to fill, you feed the PIN of the director, then select your solution, and then the system will automatically approve your solution. So provision to solution. What was happening before? If you onboard on online, you stay for online. If you are using the client solution, you could only use that one solution. But the system has been enhanced in such a way that you can have the online solution, you can have the client solution, you can have the. We have unified data visibility. You can have in taxpayer portal, regardless of where you generated your invoices from. We have customer management module for the online portal. Ongoing them is eatings for the fuel sector. We have a special eating solution for the fuel. To make any claims, any expenses will be exclusively incurred for the business whenever you invoicing, and then the simplification of return for the VAT. Nani hapa ako na VAT? So validation ya income tax is not difficult, but I am learning every other time. So for the auto-populated return for VAT, I've been filing using the auto-populated return. So what is happening? KRA is validating invoices and withholding income tax records. Using the pre-populated return. So same has been moved to non-VAT taxpayers. So we know if maybe you are below 5 million dealing with valuable goods and you are dealing with a person out there requiring you to give them an invoice with VAT, you will voluntarily register for VAT. So I've talked about the e-citizen. So this is the public notice dated 7th November saying the 2025 return, which we are now filing between Jan to June, KRA will be validating your expenses and income against your teams and eatings invoices, the withholding income tax records, and the import records. What does that one mean? So if you did business in 2025, actually this law came with Finance Act 2023, and KRA was to implement this in 2020. Engage our taxpayers, educate them. 2024, whole of 2025. So you didn't give out your PIN. Pale for expenses, you will go there and now input a PIN which you reject that expense. But for the sales, the system allows you to add. It will validate. So we have some exempt transactions. If you take A, we have some exemptions. We have some transactions which are exempt from eatings, goods and services, withholding tax, and more. So for salaries, we don't expect an eatings invoice. Imported goods and services, we don't expect an eatings invoice. But some of these, like for the imported goods and services, KRA will validate against your import records. Hadi hapo tuko sawa? You see, eatings, to be confused, eatings is not for filing. Ukimaliza kutoa invoices, you go back to iTax. Hapo ndio tunafanya nini? Tuna file and then we pay. Sawa? Tunimaliza hii slide alafu tuingie kwenye. So kuna this public notice dated 24th October 2025 talking about TCC, Tax Compliance Certificate Enhancement. So for you to get a TCC, as long as you have other income outside employment income, you should first be on board on tuipate PCC. Sawa. Yeah, our website has a lot of information, so you can always visit the website and we familiarize ourselves. We are based at Jekwa Tower, 7th and 8th. That's our email address and our contact details. Can all eating services are free. So we are free, and you can always be assisted whenever you go to any KRA tax office, and then you can always report issues of bribery. The iWhistle, we have the iWhistle.kra.go.ke. We have the Complaints Information Center, CIC, at kra.go.ke, and you can always call the numbers provided there. And then get your my colleague, now here.
So I want to ask only 3 questions. I wanted to know, first of all, if because I'm sure the seller will ask me, maybe I'm a registered seller and I want to do the buyer initiated invoice, right? They will also be required to pay the tax for that transaction.
For example, if you are the buyer,
Yes.
where you are met from
From him, yes.
where amemeta,
Amemeka sale,
where amemeta
purchase.
So you will come to deduct whatever you bought from him to reduce your
Tax.
tax liability.
Yes.
Where amemeta sale.
So of course he and that, right?
Are you understand?
Yes. Okay. And then another question: if I voluntarily register for VAT, right? Will I have to also give all of my clients, even if it's one piece VAT, like lazima niwapatie
So if you are dealing into revertible products, and then you voluntarily, why am I saying you voluntarily? Because you will find, for example, you are many is registered for VAT. You are not registered for VAT. Unataka kumuzia, let's say for example, something, unataka kumuzia hizi mikadi na mikadi. So if he buys from you and you are not VAT registered, you will not be able to, because VAT, it doesn't eat on your profit. You are just an agent of the government. You are collecting on behalf of the government. So VAT inakwanga output VAT. Ile 16% will charge for yourself minus the input VAT. Ile 16% will charge you out net purchases. The remainder you unalipa kama VAT. So if he is VAT registered, you are not VAT registered. You are at a reduce input, hata claim from. So ni sawa utapata, yes, you are dealing in budget. Hujafikisha threshold. But hata kushare biashara kwa sababu transact with you hata deduct input. So you will voluntarily register for.
So once I do, like because of the few clients who have purchased.
Okay, kama uko VAT registered,
for all the clients.
For hata kama ni mtu mwenye asemi yote kwa free. Hata kama is a B2C business to customer transaction, you are supposed to have.
Okay. And the last question is, for example, of course, maybe you've done your company in and everything, but you as the director, of course, most of us started as sole proprietorship. So kuna hii, like, I took my pin long time when I was in campus in Kisumu, right? Now I'm in Nairobi. I want to sort like how alafu ukienda Kisumu na
In the ground floor, there's a section where they have communication. They have communication for every tax office in the country. Again, KRA is rolling out what we call Huduma Popote. Huduma Popote is stationless pins. So in the next couple of months, you'll be able to get your services anywhere in the country.
then just a suggestion though, since we took our things personally, long when I was in campus, right? But I did not know that I needed to be filing any sort of returns. I was just requesting if there's a way to do like tax literacy maybe in school so that we are aware of our obligations. Tusikuje tu kushtuka tuko na deni ya KRA. Yeah.
Actually, our sector does that.
In schools?
Yeah, in schools. Starting from next week, we'll be visiting high schools.
Oh.
So we do visit all the high schools, and we have tax clubs in majority of the schools where kids learn about taxation. Also in universities, we also do that. We have universities where we actually have tax clubs, and we train the students. Yeah. So any question before I read the ones? You can just go on. They don't add. Unajua, the 16% is just transmitted to the final consumer. So as you sell into them, it's the same 16% they transfer to the consumer.
So they give my pricing, I'm supposed to add 16. Product they usually work with farmers, and maybe I get my product delivered like what I have. So for the eating, doesn't run, or even the bodega, it's not practical for ground. It sounds very good in terms of, this is my cost, send me 40 shillings, I pay them to do the product. So how am I supposed to? There's still a cost. And I think for the last, for instance, packaging for a different country. So they don't give me receipts here. Like they give me the receipts from China, from whatever. Of course the business. But not because you say when I start return, I'm supposed to, it doesn't appear. So how am I supposed to compensate for such? So this is the last one. So how am I supposed to reflect, how am I supposed to pass the cost of KRA to an So let's say if I'm sending my sources or my granolas to South Africa, but they have that client. So I tell them my Barbados source is going for 400, inclusive of VAT or 56 or whatever. Do I give them that and then pay KRA, or do I just tell them I'm good and how will you guys do?
Okay.
Last one.
I will forget them.
So let's say I usually let's bought let's this quarter. So my supplier will tell me, give me your carry thing. So I give them my carry thing and they can do something. Initially I used to refuse because I don't want, I'm afraid of losing food. So I used to refuse to give them the carry, and some of the people who sell products will say you have to give me your carry thing. So how do you trace? So let's say right now I'm sold a few products here. I didn't, are you recording?
Yes, yes. Yes, it's been recorded.
I didn't transfer, I've not charged them VAT. I've just sold your how you guys push on your SME in that regard, because it's true.
Okay. I'll start with the one for farmers, border. This you have to find a way, just the way the supplier was able to convince you to give you their PIN. You should be able to convince them to give you ATMs, because without ATMs, there's no way you are going to claim. Unfortunately, that's the law. Actually, I have border riders who give me ATMs, personally.
And what to them if they forgot it? They don't even understand what it is.
So there is reverse invoicing. Okay, let's have one meeting. Let's have one meeting. Maybe she can add.
Okay, I know. We are having, like for example, currently we are engaging the category in Parasi, so at least they come on board. So what to say at least to ensure that the driver anaweza kupokea items. Alafu still another thing, not all income is that. For example, if you are earning below 24,000
Yeah, to the 24,000 and below. 24.
24,000 and below a month, translating to, is it 800
In a year.
That one is not. Ni sawa utakai, lakini it's not. So, what we are doing here is, like for example, the tea, the coffee, especially those people dealing with farmers, at least we are having a collaboration. Maybe if we call them, most of their templates end up not showing up. But if we collaborate, and then maybe during your meetings you call us, we engage them, hata si lazima you voice for them. If they get to understand this thing, they can as well onboard themselves and maybe use the citizen platform and start to see kila mtu saizi anajua cooperate themselves. And I believe M-Pesa is
More complex.
kuliko that ya kutoa.
The way the answer and what you explain, I think the decision to pass the cost for the burden to the SMEs. Hakuna SME hapa mwenye nataka kutengeneza
4 months.
So for me, I think the decision was that I think mobilize sensitize to the what was implemented before sensitization. Others don't know whether they should be doing it or not. So it's the burden is passed on the SMEs. The people they are supposed to be working down to the ground doesn't really know anything. Because you go to a border and that's not your client, helping you transport your staff, they won't be able to understand anything. What a job is to be for now and it's yeah, and they also have the next one
VAT to consist, let's move to consideration VAT and let's move to consideration VAT and income supposed to be 100 and income supposed to be 100 and actually VAT in a ender is a tax, is a consumption.
You, for the end consumer. For the end consumer.
Alafu items is having both. VAT and non-VAT. So huyu kama akikuzia tomato 500,000 is I subject it to 16%.
Yeah.
But ikona anafaa to file and pay for income and account for.
I think what we are complaining about is we feel like you're transferring the work of public education to us, because as small businesses, most of the people we employ and work with on a daily basis are not people with university degrees. They do not understand certain things. You know? So at the end of the day, if in one day I have a casual laborer, I have to explain certain things. I still have to do that again with the Buddha. I still have to do with this person and this person and this person. And yet, the truth is, as we are coming here for training, but there are many other MSMEs as students. Like there's information I have learned today. Things that I might, like, if I don't understand it, I can't even comply. So now it contributes to a very huge unnecessary fear of KRA, where tax compliance is really not that much of a difficult thing. And then I find myself as an entrepreneur in a position where I am risking non-compliance and actually breaking a law in a way that I could not. So if this information can be made palatable in such a way that I can say, oh, just refer to this, or this is what this means. So now naanza kwenda kutupiana mtu items nini. Unaona? Na imagine kuna watu wajui items nini wengi sana huko nje. So now ananiambia nikupe pin yangu. Mtu alibuy boda hata haja register pin. No, si nimebuy boda nikaandika mtu. Huyo mtu hata ana pin, haja register KRA pin. Unaona? So I'm asking for a pin number that doesn't even exist. And then they're asking me, why do you want my PIN number? And then I tell them, because of eating. Okay, now what is eating? Because you KRA, KRA ni wezi. Your position is So it contributes to such unnecessary fear. And the part of the reason we pay tax is that, yes, you want to increase like the number of people paying tax, but that's not our job. That's why we pay for you guys to be able to do that, So it's a transfer of information that we are generally incapable of transferring to a population, and that is the bulk of people we work with. Because we work with casual laborers, we work with Buddha, and not everyone here does delivery. So that is literally a significant section of our expenses, Yeah, so that is the complaint, that is the feedback.
What she's trying to see, in short, most of the businesses in West Africa, the threshold of turnover tax, they don't know all these compliance that you're trying to do.
And even the border borders also, how many border borders have been sensitized to register for PINs? So then you can end up asking for your PIN, for their PINs, to do the invoicing. How many have PIN numbers?
We actually do that. We actually hold sensitization for border borders. We have done that severally. We use the circles of them. They are all registered under circles. We tell the circle to inform their members. I've actually participated in like 2 or 3 trainings in Times Tower.
Guys, our time is up, but I think the feedback you are getting is very important because
very important.
we all come from, we all don't come from town, but we do businesses. The regional areas, from my experience, regional areas, border people, who again SMEs use as their means of transport. They don't have vehicles. Yeah? So mimi ingekuwa, how many Kenyans are registered, have KRA PIN number, so then the sensitized to issue invoices online to the SMEs, to those people they are clients. You will guide me on what we do. Our time is up.
I will actually answer you privately about the imports.
No, do it publicly, please.
Can we
So,
have 10 minutes?
okay.
Yes?
So for imports, I'll just be brief. For imports, what you do to, they didn't say items is the only way that will be accepted. We also accept import data. There's what we call import duty. Once you have that entry number, we use that information and then consider it as one of your expenses. So that one still applies. When you're exporting, you don't export VAT. It's zero rated. So it remains as that. The other question was?
And to add on that, is zero rated, but for your expense, you can
Yeah.
claim.
Okay.
So utakuwa na credit, then you can get refunds.
Okay, let me explain this concept really quick about exempt and zero rated. In exempt, you don't charge VAT. It's exempt from VAT. For zero rated, you charge VAT at a 0% rate. Now, the expenses which you have incurred and they add VAT, you stand to be refunded that money by the government. Because the government, this thing was, it was in a VAT rate of 16%, and then government gave a subsidy and made it 0%. So your expenses, utakuwa unaweza kuclaim kama refund. So, what nilikuwa nimeulizwa swali, but this swali ni the same. They have actually been. Should an SME in the food manufacturing floor have flour? If it's a company, income tax company, and then, yeah.
From the producer.
For the manufacturer, yeah.
So it is not applicable for you to do the TOT?
You can also do TOT, 0%, it's still vatable. Okay. It's a rate.
Yes, yes.
So you also need that. But TOT, if you are between 1 and 25 million.
So most of the times when you have an obligation standing for your personal income, then in VAT. Hiyo ya VAT is not. So hawezi kuwa na VAT peke yake. You have maybe income tax resident, income tax company, you have a company, you have VAT, and at the same time kama uko na employees, uko na
Pay as you earn. So items where items is not required, where it has been exempt, we have flights. This one we don't need to have items. The imports, yeah. Those ones you don't.
Will it be a business expense? Let's say you have
You can claim without items. Yeah.
Actually, the validation process, like for example, for the 2025 return, we have to make it for those expenses as long as you feed them in the specific field.
Yeah.
For example, kama ni airline passenger tickets, weke hapo kwa airline passenger ticket. Kuna that field.
Yeah.
So that field will not be validated. So okay, fanya your return utapata error.
But it will be seen as an expense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of the company.
Yes. And also imports. Yes. Yes.
Hii topic ya tax is not something we can do kwa session moja nyingine tumekuwa tumeketi kwa kikao for only an hour.
Yeah.
It is something that needs a proper sitting na ielezwe kwa lugha ambayo mwananchi wa kawaida na
ataelewa.
Hivyo I'm recommending kama kwetu where I come from, Embakasi Central, sijayo on the ground and I work in the community with the community. You see? For instance, I know that for a government institution like KRA to mobilize people wakuja kwenye kikao inakuwa ngumu. Why don't you partner with people on the ground wale wanafanya shughuli fulani kwa community, wakiwa na kikao alafu nyinyi pia mnaenda pale, kama ni shughuli maybe say peace building, and then part of the conversation. Hiyo session ya peace building inapoisha, you have a segment mnaongea. So the more you show up, the more you're disseminating information, the more people you're reaching, as compared to wana hivi about an hour and then you're over.
Actually, we do that with the national government.
Chiefs ndio mnafunza?
No, when they have barazas.
When they have barazas. Mimi kama.
But unajua, we are still something we are trying, so we may not be able to reach all barazas in the country. It's not realistic. So some of the select places we do, like I've done for Embakasi East.
Basi muongeze the reach of sessions. Isiwe sasa very few ndio wanapata fulani. Mambo ya tax saizi umesikia, next minute unakutia. And then kuna zingine zinakuja and informational. And then swali
nilikuwa nimemwambia nisaidie kuuliza, but I can just access your that topic. Kuna kwanga na trainings like on KRA offices.
Yeah.
Naweza ona maybe kwa website.
Yeah, for the trainings are in what we call so we have the trainings on our YouTube page. We also have when you log in every Thursday, you'll find a session ongoing.
Is there like physical?
Yeah, there's also physical. We'll get your contact so that we can inform you of the physical ones. I don't have the list. Yes? Let's have one meeting.
How many sub-counties do you have in Nairobi?
17.
And each sub-county has business people working within that sub-county with different businesses that they're doing. Let me tell you, 2019, it was not easy for government to go into Kariobangi light industry. But how did we manage? By working with the association. Do you know what Musea does?
Yes.
They organize you into what? Association. So wherever you are, whether you are in Shambu, whether you are in Rome, find association where you can belong. It is very easy to work with association than to work with individuals. Yeah. Because now, if you say that now KRA needs business people from Embakasi Central, how many of them are there? And how many will come? A few of them will come because of the phobia that they have. But when we work with associations, we can now partner with MSME, we partner with them, we partner with other stakeholders. Then we come together. Then we can say, now today, after this week, it is for KRA. Yeah. This week it is for KRA. This week it is for another organization. So that we find you where you are. Because us, we can be, it's easy for us to come than you coming to our office. Yes. Because now, like now, we are only 4 of us. There are 5 of them here. But how many are you here? Many. May deceive you. And that information, if you get it, can share it with yourself. I know we cannot dictate all as groups, but the moment you meet an informer that you are going to get only 40 minutes, or just only for eating, it's going to be very easy for us to do what? To understand and also ask the questions. And then again, a person, maybe this is a true story. Someone who was told by someone who is like the one we talk about, you have to pay 50,000. Another talk about 50,000. No. But because of fear, because of saying this, then we get wrong information, then we have a wrong perception about the government. Some of these taxes that we talk about, if at all we sit down and reason, you'll find that yes, we need them because these are what sustain the economy. But now if you don't have the information, how you do get it? Let's come together in a situation that those who does chemical, if you can get people in chemical, those who are in food industry, those who are in textile, we sit together. It is very easy for us even to come just to only 20 minutes, just questions and answers. Again, you will learn a lot and you will never regret. A true story, which is now, I know some of us will not believe. We are not persuading you to pay taxes, but are persuading you so that you can succeed where others have seen difficulties. There's a guy in Karibang line industry in Karibang South. This guy makes stitches wood balls. How many of us buy balls for their children? For Barabara? Many of us, if we go to the market, you buy balls. Here for my daughter, this is more for my son. So that guy used to make wood balls from hand stitch, and they sent them along outer ring road. But also abuse outer ring road. And the guy used to sell wood. But one day he sold just only a size 3 ya mtoi, akauzia mtu wa Safaricom. Na hakujua kwamba that was an open form for the customer. Sasa aliponunua mahali walikuwa wanaishi, unajua people share. Kwa nini ndio yako ulipata wapi? Nilipata kwa mtu fulani pale along the road. Because they pay through the pesa or they just pay cash. Number ilibaki, ikapigiwa simu. Can we get this board? Ati for what? For Safaricom chapadimba. Jamaa kaanza kujiuliza, huyu ni nini? Kuja kuelezea. So walipoandika the contract, wakaambiwa your board has to be what? Certified by Kenya below. And then do you have a legal registered entity? Ati sina. Just want to register business name and you give you tender. Do you know what happened? The guy would give the tender and supplies the boards chapadimba. Because of that trust and requirement, that step of faith, okay. Step of faith has made many people to believe. And fear and phobia of unknown or wrong information has made some of us to make very hard and then end up blaming the world. There are simple things you can do that can change and make it be great. And you will see the difference. So, usiogope, join those, like now, there's something called Nyota for the youth. How many youth here have registered for that Nyota? See, none of them, see, but there are opportunities. If you're given 20,000 today and you have a business idea, it's going to help you to grow not only today, but tomorrow. But because it comes from the government, the government Sahi, the World Bank wamepatia Kenya pesa ya kusimua sekta ya vijana. If you don't take a step of faith, who will take it on everything?
I would request that after that one, after what all that is said, we don't ask questions, we break for lunch. And if you have one minute question,
yeah, we will be around for you to ask.
Let us break for lunch, ask 1:30.
All the questions that were written that they haven't had the chances to answer because it affects all of us. If you can answer them, then you can conclude so that we actually have all our questions.
Okay. There's suggestion?
I actually wanted to say I have an account manager, so people can actually just create content. So
or we can share the slides.
it's query cover, it's a basic
So.
yeah.
Okay.
For the entrepreneurs, remember we are moving you